Welcome to Millennium Daily News. This is Ifat Fatima with top stories. Russians targeted 21 election systems, US officials. Donald Trump talks up solar panel plan for Mexico wall. Islamic State blows up historic Mosul mosque where it declared caliphate. Budget session adjourned till June 28. Stock futures flat as oil prices remain under pressure. Those were the headlines, now the detail. Russian hackers targeted 21 US state election systems in the 2016 presidential race, and a small number were breached, but there was no evidence any votes were manipulated, a Homeland Security Department official told Congress. Janet Manfra, the department's acting deputy undersecretary of cybersecurity, testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee. U.S. intelligence agencies have concluded the Kremlin orchestrated a wide-ranging influence operation that included email hacking and online propaganda to discredit Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. The Russia issue has cast a shadow over Trump's first 5 months in office. The extent of interference by Russian hackers and whether they or others could interfere in future elections has been the source of speculation and media reports for months. The United States has told Turkey it will take back weapons supplied to the Kurdish YPG militia in northern Syria after the defeat of Islamic State. Ankara, seeking to address Turkish concerns about arming Kurds on its border. Turkish Defense Ministry sources said U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis also promised his Turkish counterpart to provide a monthly list of weapons handed to the YPG, saying the first inventory had already been sent to Ankara. Turkey sees the YPG as an extension of the outlawed Kurdish PKK, which has been waging an insurgency in the country's southeast since the mid-1980s. It has said supplies to the YPG have in the past ended up in PKK hands and described any weapon given to the force as a threat to its security. Friends and family members will gather in Ohio to say goodbye to an American student who died days after being returned to the United States in a coma following 17 months in captivity in North Korea. Otto Warmbier, 22, was arrested in the reclusive communist country while visiting as a tourist. He was brought back to the United States last week with brain damage in what doctors described as state of unresponsive wakefulness, and died. A public memorial will be held on morning at Wemming High School in the Cincinnati suburb of Wemming. Warmbier will be buried later in the day at a local cemetery. U.S. President Donald Trump has told supporters that his proposed wall along the border with Mexico could have solar panels fixed to it. Addressing a rally in Iowa, he said the panels will provide cheap energy and help to pay for the controversial wall. He suggested the plan was his own. However, solar panels have been included in designs for the wall submitted by companies. During his campaign, Mr. Trump pledged to build a wall along the Mexican border to stop illegal immigration and drug trafficking. Authorities are treating the stabbing of a police officer at an airport in Michigan as an act of terrorism. The suspect, Amor Fathi, 50, shouted Allahu Akbar, God is greatest in Arabic, before knifing the officer in the back and neck, said officials. Lieutenant Jeff Neville is in a stable condition in hospital after the attack at Bishop International Airport in Flint. Lieutenant Neville helped take the suspect, a Canadian, into custody at the scene. President Donald Trump's Washington has become more secretive in recent months. Here are 5 ways that government officials are concealing their activities and why it matters. Since Spicer, the White House press secretary, insists the administration is transparent, we have a tremendous respect for the First Amendment, he told reporters during a briefing. He explained that he and other officials have made a significant effort to give journalists access to information about the White House. Reporters have had extraordinary access in one way. The president's freestyle tweets show his fluctuating moods as well as his views on certain issues. Islamic State militants blew up the Grand Al-Nouri Mosque of Mosul and its famous leaning minaret, Iraq's military said in a statement, as Iraqi forces seeking to expel the group from the city closed in on the site. It was from this medieval mosque 3 years ago that the militants' leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi declared a self-styled caliphate spanning parts of Syria and Iraq. Blowing up the Al-Habda minaret and the Al-Nouri Mosque amounts to an official acknowledgement of defeat, Iraqi Prime Minister said in a brief comment on his website. The Iraqis call the 150-foot leaning minaret Al-Habda or the Hunchback. Baghdadi's black flag had flown over it since June 2014. Islamic State's Amaq news agency accused American aircraft of destroying the mosque, a claim swiftly denied by the US-led coalition fighting the militant group. Around 600 high-rises across England are using similar cladding to Grenfell Tower, says Downing Street. Tower blocks across the UK are being examined after the London blaze, which left 79 people dead or missing, presumed dead. 3 samples have been shown to be combustible and more results will be made public in the next 48 hours. A number 10 spokeswoman said it was a matter of absolute urgency to tell residents. Theresa May said all local authorities responsible for the floods had been told. The announcement comes after the boss of Kensington and Chelsea Council resigned after criticism of the London authorities' response. Viewers, now Millennium News on Bangladesh topic. The ongoing budget session of Parliament has been adjourned till 4 p.m. on June 28 next due to Eid al-Fitr. Deputy Speaker Fazle Rabbi Mia, who was in the chair, announced the adjournment decision. The 4th budget session of the 10th Parliament began on May 30 last and it will continue till July 13 next. Finance Minister A.M. Mohit on June 1 last placed a national budget of Taka 4,266 crore for 2017-18 fiscal year in the House, which is scheduled to be passed on June 29 next. The National Moon Sighting Committee will sit in a meeting to decide the date of Eid al-Fitr, the largest religious festival of the Muslims. The meeting will be held at the Islamic Foundation's Baitul Mukarram office at 7:15 p.m. with Religious Affairs Minister Matiur Rahman in the chair, said an Islamic Foundation. The committee will announce the date of Eid al-Fitr after reviewing information on the sighting of the Shawwal moon. People have been requested to inform the committee over following phone numbers if they see the Shawwal moon anywhere in Bangladesh sky. The phone numbers are 955-9493, 955-9643, 955-5947, 955-6407 and 955-8337. Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir said the government is planning to open the mobile app-based transport services, including Uber, for people in the capital city. Works on formulating a draft guideline for app-based transport services is going on. Opinions of different stakeholders alongside common people will be taken to finalize it, he said. The minister came up with the remark at a meeting with their member Uber delegation led by East Regional Public Policy Chief Chantulal Mojumdar at his office at the Secretariat. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has congratulated the newly appointed Crown Prince of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz. In a message of felicitation, the Prime Minister described the Bangladesh and Saudi Arabia relations as the best of bilateral relationship which withstood the test of time. She expressed the hope that the ties between the two countries would be further strengthened in the coming days, according to the Foreign Ministry here. Her case has been filed against 26 leaders and activists of BNP as a vehicle of the motorcade of BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir allegedly hit a CNG-run auto rickshaw on their way to Rangamati. Auto rickshaw driver Mohammad Mohsin filed the case with the Speedy Trial Tribunal of Chittagong against 26 named BNP leaders and activists, including Rangunia Upazila BNP President Shaukat Ali Yunus and 10 to 15 unnamed people, said Mohsin's lawyer Nikhil Kumar Nath. Information Minister Hassanul Haq Inu suggested the government to suspend the new value-added tax law for 1 year with a view to removing the confusion over the unified 15% VAT. The new VAT is an epoch-making one, but confusion is spreading over it. I would like to tell the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister to suspend it this time. Otherwise, it won't be possible to remove the confusion. Introduce it next time, removing the confusion and convincing all, he said. The Information Minister made the suggestion participating in the general discussion over the proposed 4,266 crore national budget in Parliament. A Bangladeshi man was shot and taken away by the members of Indian Border Security Force (BSF) at the Rotnai border of Baliadangi Upazila in Thakurgaon in the early hours. The deceased is Latiful Islam in his 20s, a resident of the village of Dholai Bosti in the Upazila of Baliadangi. He was admitted to a hospital in India. Quoting local people, Thakurgaon 30 BGB commanding officer Lieutenant Colonel Khadimul Bashir said the BSF member shot Latiful as he entered into Indian border illegally at about 4 a.m. Viewers, now Millennium Business News. Britain's competition watchdog has given the green light to the £11 billion merger of Standard Life and Aberdeen Asset Management. The Competition and Markets Authority said it had decided not to refer the tie up to an in-depth investigation. The decision paves the way for the deal's completion in August. The merger will create Europe's second biggest fund manager with £670 billion under management. The enlarged company, to be called Standard Life Aberdeen, will be headed up by Keith Skeoch and Aberdeen boss Martin Gilbert. Shares in two of China's biggest conglomerates, Fosun International and HNA, fell by about 6% amid rumors that banks had been ordered to assess their loan exposure to them. Fosun bought Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club last year, while HNA is Research Bank's biggest shareholder. Reports say the banking regulator had also told lenders to investigate loans to Anbank Insurance, Odeon UK Cinema Warner, Dalian Wanda and Zhejiang Lucent. All five are big overseas investors. Bank branches will remain open on June 23 and 24 in industrial areas of Dhaka, Ashulia, Tongi, Gazipur, Savar, Bhaluka, Narayanganj and Chittagong to facilitate the payment of garment workers' wages ahead of Eid al-Fitr. The branches will operate half-day from 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. on June 23 and full day from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on June 24. Bangladesh Bank issued an order to the scheduled banks in this regard, saying banks have to ensure adequate security to facilitate the salary disbursement of government workers as well as the RMG export. U.S. stock index futures were little changed as oil edged up from multi-month lows, but prices remained under pressure. U.S. crude futures CLC1 were up 0.4% at $42.7 per barrel. They closed down 1.6% after touching their lowest level since August. Global benchmark Brent LCOC1 traded at around $45.24. Since peaking in late February, crude has dropped around 20%, skidding into bear market territory despite OPEC-led efforts to balance the market. The S&P Energy Index SPNY, which has lost 14.9% this year, is the worst performing sector, largely underperforming the broader S&P 500 index. Viewers, now Millennium Environment, Science and Technology News. Rail ticket machines across the UK fell out of service this morning, preventing commuters from using them to pay fares. On-screen message said they had no online connectivity, making them unable to send payment card details. The issue began at about 6 BST. A spokesman for the rail delivery group told the BBC the issue had been resolved shortly before 9 BST. He added that the fault appeared to have been with the software and systems provided by Seat and Batchman. Manufacturers say they are making rapid progress in the development of Europe's new rocket, the Ariane 6. The vehicle is due to enter service in 2020, gradually replacing the existing workhorse, the Ariane 5. The prime contractor, the recently rebranded Ariane Group, gave an update on the status of the program here at this week's Paris Air Show. We are on track with our roadmap and Ariane 6 is progressing very well, CEO Elaine Shermeau told BBC News. Astronomers added 219 candidates to the growing list of planets beyond their solar system, 10 of which may be about the same size and temperature as Earth, boosting the chances for life. Scientists found the planet candidates in a final batch of NASA's Kepler Space Telescope observations of 200,000 sample stars in the constellation Cygnus. The candidates include 10 newly discovered rocky walls that are properly distanced from their parent stars for water, if it exists, to pool on their surfaces. Scientists believe liquid water is a key ingredient for life. Viewers, now Millennium Sports News. India's share of world cricket revenues will increase from $293 to $405 million under in a new deal agreed at a meeting of the game's global governing body in London, the Press Trust of India reported lately. The deal came after India protested a decision in April to divide revenues more equitably among members of the International Cricket Council, a move which would have cost the Indian Cricket Board a large chunk of its funding over the next 8 years. PTI revealed details of the new agreement ahead of the release of an official statement later Thursday. It said England will receive $139 million, while Australia, Pakistan, West Indies, New Zealand, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh would get $128 million and Zimbabwe $94 million. After Anil Kumble stepped down from the post of India head coach, Board of Control of Cricket in India was unhappy with the number of applications received. The situation has again opened doors to receive more options, and now it is learned that they have approached former India team director Ravi Shastri, reports cricketcountry.com. However, India captain Virat Kohli's first choice, Shastri, is not ready to apply in the normal procedure and has demanded assurance of getting the post. Before ending, the headlines are once again. Russians targeted 21 election systems, US officials. Donald Trump talks of solar panel plan for Mexico wall. Islamic State blows up historic Mosul mosque where it declared caliphate. Budget session adjourned till June 28. Stock futures flat as oil prices remain under pressure. This is all for now from Millennium Daily Newsroom. To get any kind of news, please visit facebook.com/millenniumtvusa and youtube.com/millenniumtvusa. Besides, to get the most updated news, please log into our website www.millenniumtv.net. Stay with Millennium. Allah Hafiz.